Hi, my name's Mike Null, and over the course of the next few videos, I'm going to teach you how to build a really nice website. You don't need any special equipment, software, or skills. So if you've got a regular laptop or desktop computer and you know how to browse the web, create and save files in a directory, that's all you need. So we're going to use the browser that comes with your computer. If you have a Windows computer, it's going to be Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, whatever. If you've got an iMac, it's going to be Safari. And for a text editor, Windows, it's Notepad, and iMac, it's TextEdit. Simple as that. So for our first lesson, I'm going to walk you through building a very simple website and getting it on the internet. Let's get started. Now, I mentioned the browser. That's your Safari, Edge, Chrome, Firefox, whatever program you use to get onto the internet. It sends requests to either a server through your internet connection or your computer's file system, receives files, and then presents you with a view based on the instructions in those files. For now, we're going to work with your computer's file system. Later, we'll put it on a server. For now, I'd like you to create a new folder. You can do this on your desktop. Name it whatever you like. I'm going to name mine New Website. Then open up TextEdit if you're on Mac OS or Notepad if you're on Windows. In Mac OS, there are a couple of extra steps you have to take to edit code with TextEdit. In TextEdit, click TextEdit on the menu bar. Go to Preferences. On the New Document tab, choose the Plain Text Radio button. Then on the Open and Save tab, check the Display HTML files as HTML code instead of formatted text checkbox. Now, it's a good idea to name your main page Index, and you want to save it as a web page with a .html extension. That .html is important because it tells your computer what kind of software to use to read the file. Every HTML document will start with a data type declaration, or DTD for short. This is going to be inside angle brackets, or the less than and greater than signs, which are very important in HTML. The DTD tells the browser that this is an HTML page. After that is going to be the HTML element. Each HTML document has exactly one HTML element. Every element starts with a tag inside the angle brackets, and most elements end with a closing tag that has the same tag name preceded with a /. So we have our opening HTML tag and our closing HTML tag, and this makes a web page. Congratulations. Now, if you were to open this up on your browser by double-clicking on the icon in your folder or navigating to it, you'd see a blank window, just white space. You can save this and open it with your browser. Let's give it something to say. Hello world. Okay, we've got a web page. Now let's flesh out the structure a little bit. Inside the HTML element, a standard web page is going to have one head and one body element. The head is going to give the browser information on how to render our page, and the body is going to hold the actual content. We'll add a title element to give our page a title. Now the title is going to show up on the tab on your browser. So if we save this and then reload it, notice that's the old file name. Now it says the title that we gave it, and it's the content that we gave it to. So in the head, we're going to add a meta tag with an attribute to give it a little more information. This one's going to be character set, char set equals UTF-8. Now the attribute name is char set, and the attribute itself is UTF-8. That's the contents of the attribute. And we'll use those a lot later. Those are very important here. Comments in HTML are going to be bracketed like this. You're going to use an open bracket with exclamation point and 2 hyphens, and then 2 hyphens and a closing bracket. Everything in between that is going to be commented out. So it's going to look like this. And the part in between those comments, those comment brackets, is not going to be read by the browser. That's just human readable to give you notes like this. Title text goes here, for example. And this web page is going to have about the same content as the lesson. So we'll go back and put a new title in there, and it's going to be basic HTML. Now I've got some dummy text called lorem ipsum, and we're going to put that in p tags. Now these p tags, each one is a paragraph, starts with p, ends with /p. And I've got a few of those in there, and we'll put them in there and then take a look at our website and see what that looks like. Now let's give our text a header so that the audience, whoever's reading this, will know what we're talking about. So a header tag is letter H1, and the close tag is going to be a /H1, and your title is going to go in between there. We'll call this lesson 1. And we'll save that and reload it, and there's your title. Now there's different levels of header. You can go down to H2, H3, all the way to H6, and this is what they look like. So, the next level title is going to look like this. Save, reload, basic HTML. And then we'll talk about one more thing here. And some more basic elements, save, reload, and reload. There it is. And like I said, all the way down to H6 if you need that many levels of title. Down there, and something else. Reload. There you go. But we're not going to go that far. So let's back all that out. Now we're going to add some numbered and unnumbered lists. Here we have a list that goes through 1 through 7. And in number 5, we have nested in there an unnumbered bullet list. And in number 6, we had another nested list. So we'll show you how to do those. So we're going back to our index page. And the tag name for a numbered list is OL, it stands for ordered list. And an ordered list, everything in there is LI for list item. So we'll add a few tags in there and then put our list items in there, some elements, and then this is how you nest it. So inside the LI, we add a UL element, and we'll open that up and add some LIs, list items, and those will be our bullet list, our unordered lists. For example, and then to make it quick, we'll just copy and paste. And that code you see there, those are entities. I'm going to get to those in just a minute. In HTML, the less than and greater than symbols have special meaning, so you can't just enter them into your text. To make the browser display them, you have to use what we call an entity. Now the notation begins with an ampersand and ends with a semicolon. So you put an ampersand, LT, then semicolon for the open angle bracket, and then a ampersand, GT, and semicolon for the close angle bracket. There are 5 reserved characters in the XML standard that HTML derives from. So we already talked about less than and greater than. Those are the open and close brackets. You got your single and double quotes, and also the ampersand. But you have to be especially careful about the angle brackets. Now there's a whole lot of other entities that every HTML5 compliant browser will recognize. And if you need to, you can find those by doing an internet search for HTML entity names. And besides the names, you can also use the numerical or hexadecimal code. And these can be really handy for characters you don't have on your keyboard, such as accents, euro symbol, pound sign, whatever. And the names are fairly easy to remember, although the umlaut, the two dots over the vowel, I keep forgetting that. That's just UML. So if you make a mistake, just go back and fix it. And there we go. That's the O with two dots over it. Okay. So going forward, we have ampersand and amp colon, quotes, and the apostrophe. And that's what that looks like. There's a lot of different entity names, so if you ever get stuck, just use your favorite search engine and search HTML entities, and you will find all kinds of lists. Just like that. There you go. This is handy, the Mozilla Standard. And one of my favorites is W3 Schools. That is a very good reference for you. So, and this is certainly not all of the entities, but just a start on some that you can use. So you got these standard ones. Accent marks usually start with whatever letter you want to accent, and then the accent itself, and then all kinds of symbols. There's even emojis that you could put into your website. And I've never used these. But you never know. Some people will. Now let's add something really cool that you can do with HTML, anchors. Anchors are designated with the tag name A, and they have attributes. And probably the most important kind is what you would use to link to other websites. So to do this, let's just make an A tag, and we're going to go to the original website, info.cerm.ch. And this subject really does deserve to be moved up a level to have its own bullet point. So I want you to notice, though, the attribute to the anchor is href. And that's a hypertext reference, and that's the address of the web page that we're going to. So you can also use anchors to jump to another location in the page. And you pretty much do it the same way. So you set up an anchor as your destination and one as their jump off point. So let's mark the bottom of the page here. Designated, of course, bottom of the page. And then we'll go back up here. In the hypertext reference, we're going to use the number sign and then the name of the anchor that we just established. And then we'll save that and go back to the page, and we'll name that one jump, so that can be a destination as well. So save, reload, and we have some anchors. That's the end of the page. You can jump to the end. And now we can go down to the end of the page, and make that a link to jump back up to where we just started. Hashtag jump. Close and save. We'll reload the page. There we go. We can just jump back and forth all day long. So far we've built a nice little web page. We've got headers, we've got anchors, we've got links, we've got lists, and this is what the original World Wide Web looked like. So it's pretty similar to what we've already done. So taking a look. So now that you've built your web page, you can put it on the internet for the world to see. There's quite a few companies out there that provide storage space and servers connected to the internet, and they're called hosts. And some of them are free, some of them you pay for. So just for an example, I got on the internet and searched for free web hosting. The purposes of this video, I'm going to skip the parts where you register and log in. So we'll assume that you're able to do that. And this is the one that I chose, awardspace.net, and I am at the file manager stage, and then I just go to the folder that contains the web pages, and I'm going to upload that index.html website or web page file that we just created. So go into that folder there, and then using their file upload utility, I'll select the file, navigate to my index.html, open, upload the file. File has been uploaded successfully. Hooray! All right, so let's go to that web page, refresh it, and there we go. No, we're not going to translate. All right, and that's on the internet. You can give that to your friends, family, whatever, and they can see what you just wrote. And all the links work. All the anchors jump from one place to another, work on it. There you go. So you can also, instead of uploading files, you can create a file on the file manager and edit it there. So that's just another way of doing it. So go in there just to show it to you. I'm going to delete this file. And then we'll create another one just to show that it's deleted. There we go. So we'll create a file here, and we'll call it index. So index is the one that it goes to automatically. And there's your editing window. So I just go to my text edit, copy everything into the clipboard, go back here, paste it in, or you could just type it in here, whichever. Notice there's a little bit of color coding in here. Save the file, get a success. Okay, let's make sure it really worked. All right, you're on the internet. No, we still don't want to translate. And there you go. That's how you build a website and get it on the internet. And in the next lesson, we'll go a little bit further. So we just built a nice little website. You've got text, you've got links, it's on the internet. Come back next time and we'll build on that, and every iteration will go a little bit further and get better each time. So thank you very much for watching my video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.